Welcome back, users. So we have completed the up to phase 4. So in the last video we have seen how to add the desktop using the ArcoLinux tweak tool. We added the GNOME desktop using the ArcoLinux tweak tool, and in previous videos before that we have extensively used the ArcoLinux B and the ArcoLinux B extended ISOs to create the mixed desktop. So we installed multiple desktop like the full KDE plus the full KDE development along with the OpenBox and IceWM Windows managers. Then in the last video we did the ArcoLinux tweak tool and added the GNOME desktop. Then we did a review of the GNOME desktop that was added using the ArcoLinux tweak tool. And in the phase 5, what we do is we have to stick to one particular desktop and maybe one TM, and you can download the ArcoLinux B ISO of your choice to build the ISO yourself. So if you go to this link here, I already opened it. So you can create your own repository. You can create I think your own packages, create your own ISO and start in the Nemesis repo. Nemesis repo is nothing but a repo of scripts that are used to build a ISO, build your system. So we already use the ArcoLinux B extended ISO to build a mixed desktop system with one desktop and multiple window managers. So we installed the OpenBox and IceWM window manager, and of course when we use the ArcoLinux B extended ISO, all the window managers were installed by default. So we didn't have option either to not install them, because the extended ISO contains all those Windows manager, and the installation script will install all the Windows manager by default. So only you can choose the main desktop by your choice. So that is for you to decide. But the Windows manager all are installed. So what is pending to be learned is ArcoLinux ISO and the ArcoLinux D ISO. So ArcoLinux D ISO we will take up now. So let us go back to the learning. We have finished everything. Yes. So these are the videos you can check out to learn more about the ArcoLinux. We will go back here. So in fact, we have almost completed the phase 5 also. There is nothing to be learned in the phase 5. We have already done. So phase 4 and 5 are mixed. So when you do the phase 4, you will also cover the phase 5. So I will suitably add the description that phase 5 has been completed in the phase 4 videos itself. So I will update the video description in phase 4 videos. Now let us go over to phase 6. So we have covered lot of knowledge track learning path. So you might be feeling bored, but you see, this is not an entertainment video channel. This is a learning video channel. So if you come together with me, if you walk the path of the learning with me, you will reach the destination. So I have already downloaded the LXQT ISO. So there are two methods. So if you go with the basic installation, it will install a bare version of ArcoLinux. So that version is called headless. There is no GUI. It is completely from the terminal itself. And second is the CalMS option to install desktops and applications. But the options are much more detailed than what we have seen in the ArcoLinux B and ArcoLinux B extended ISOs. So that we are going to check. And for installation with bare version of ArcoLinux, friends, for that you require a help file or something, or you have to create your own help file with the steps and the different commands, terminal commands written down. So that takes a hell lot of time. So what we can do is, instead of using the bare ArcoLinux installation, you can install Arch Linux itself using the Arch install method. That video has been covered in our channel, so you can go back and search for install Arch Linux using the Arch install helper library. So you can use that, or you can use the Anarchy installer. And once you are comfortable with the installation using the helper library like Arch install or Anarchy installer, then you can go ahead and then you can make a help file. So you have to just jot down all the, what we can say, all the instructions in chronological order. So one after the other, the installation commands have to be given in the terminal and executed, and at the end of the command execution you will get a full desktop install as per your design. And then you have to reboot the system and it will boot into the GUI. So that you can do it later, but that is the last phase. So best is first to use some helper like the Arch install helper library, or you can use the detailed Calamars installer. So it is GUI based, but it is more complex, that we are going to see when we will install the ArcoLinuxD ISO. So friends, let us start the ArcoLinuxD installation. So I will minimize this, and the ArcoLinuxD ISO is there with me. So what we have to do is you have to open it in boxes, just like we did before. Select the Arch template, customize, give RAM. So so installation will be fast. If you use 2 GB, it will be done, but the installation will take lot of time. So best is to, and here since it is a detailed installation, so there will be more package to be installed, more choices will be there, and when there are more choices, obviously more software is selected by the user and more software has to be installed, so it requires more space. So better we go with the 30 GB hard disk option. Hit the create button. Use the first option. So now first thing what you have to do, this is the Calamar Arcolinux welcome app. First you have to update the Arch Linux mirrors. This is the first thing you have to do. If you don't do, then your installation might fail, it might get very much delayed, something wrong might happen during the installation. So first you have to always update your mirror list. Now we will not run the gparted. Here there are two options: base installation, advanced installation. If you go for the base installation, it will the installation will drop down to the terminal level, so there won't be any GUI. That is only available for the very much experts. So you can be also expert, but you need to know the exact sequence of the commands that have to be given to the installer from the terminal, so that it can install the system properly. For that, first you have to learn the intermediate levels. So the advanced installation in fact is an intermediate level where at least the GUI is there, so you will not fail. But in base installation, of course, you will have to take the risk, and if you go even wrong in one space, there is in one place, there is a chance that the installation will fail or your system will not boot into the GUI. So for that you have to first Google and then search the sequence of the commands that has to be given on the terminal. so the system can install from the terminal. So friends, even I am also searching for the sequence of the commands to install from the terminal. By the way, I know how to install the Arch from the terminal because I just one of our friends, or you can say one of the devs have done it. So they have put on Google's the sequence of the commands. You can also find it out, and then you have to just follow the command sequence of commands, and you get a working Arch Linux desktop. So similarly for ArcoLinux also, there might be somewhere some helper files, some user has put it how to do it. So I will have to find that out. So that video might come in later stages, say maybe whenever I find time to search, and then I will have to do a test before. So if it works on my desktop, then I will make the video. So at least I have to do at least 2 or 3 times, so to make sure that the help file is working on my desktop, then only I can share with you. Otherwise it is of no consequence. So it will not help you, neither will help me. So now for this video, let us stick to the advanced install. So I will click on the advanced install. So this opens the CalMS installer. So up till here it is all good. So the Linux Zen kernels are there. I will also go with the Linux Zen kernels this time also, and Intel U code. And now further knowledge I want to share. So suppose your system is Intel and you just pick up the Intel code and you leave the AMD code, then it is okay. And if you select the AMD code, nothing wrong is going to happen to your system. But what will happen is the system will install both the drivers microcode, but system will only use the relevant microcode. So let us experiment. I want to show you that nothing wrong will happen to the system. So let us select both Intel and AMD U code. Let us go ahead, select the Intel AMD GPU also, go with the Visa and the Open Chrome drivers. Let us see what happens. Now, yes, now here the difference in the CalMS can be seen. So in earlier ArcoLinux B and ArcoLinux B extended ISOs, the CalMS installer was not giving option to select the Bluetooth support, laptop support, network discovery, printing support, Samba, sound pulse audio, or sound pipe wire. So by default system had already selected these options. So Bluetooth support was there, laptop support was there, network discovery is already there, printing support, only printing support it was asking you, and Samba was also by default there, and in sound maybe pulse audio or pipe wire. So at least one of them was selected by default, but this time you have to select it. The user has more choice in ArcoLinuxD ISO because the user using ArcoLinuxD ISO is considered to be more advanced, as the top of the line intermediate knowledge. So you can say a seasoned Linux user is using the ArcoLinuxD ISO. So let us tick on the Bluetooth support. So now here what we can see is the pulse audio Bluetooth has been selected. Okay, now see the fun. We go and then we select the laptop support. So TLP is selected as a dependency. Similarly in network discovery, when we select the Avahi, NSS, MDNS, GVFS is selected, SMB, and then in the printing, if you select the printing support, all this dependencies for printing are selected. It's same for the Samba. So what will happen is, if you don't select this, and if you only select the network discovery, the GVFS SMB is selected, but you are not selected here the GVS SMB. So when it will get selected, it will pull the whole Samba, I think. So this is how the dependencies work. And now see the fun again, second time. in the Bluetooth support you have selected the pulse audio Bluetooth, and now if I go for the pipe wire, what is going to happen? Can you imagine? The pipe wire and pulse audio both will be selected. So what will happen is, since the pulse audio Bluetooth has been selected, so whole pulse audio will be also picked up. So then there might be some issue because pulse audio and pipe wire both will be selected. So better is not to select the pipe wire, go with the pulse audio only. So this way only pulse audio will be selected and it will satisfy the dependency for the Bluetooth support. Of course, if you go, there will be Bluetooth support in pipe wire also. Let us check. There has to be Bluetooth support for pipe wire also. It is not seen here, but it will be there. So if you want to go with the pipe wire, you have to not select this pulse audio Bluetooth. Otherwise, it will pull all the pulse audio dependencies, and then you will have pipe wire as well as a pulse audio also and pipe wire also. Then it might break your sound. So the sound service will be broken. So best is, since you have selected the pulse audio here, you do not select the pipe wire here. That's it. And in the future, the pipe wire will be the default sound manager. So what will happen is, this dependency will be changed, and here you will have pipe wire dash Bluetooth. You will see it is going to happen soon. So now let us go ahead. Now the login manager is there. So what friends we will do this time, we will try to install some very less used desktops, because everybody uses KD, GNOME, XFC is used by most of the users. So let us do something new. So in the last few of the videos we have done the Mate also, covered Mate for different distros. So I am thinking that LXQT is not used anywhere. So better we go with the LXQT desktop this time. Oh, let us choose the LXQT. So this is LXDM is the login manager for the LXQT. So we will choose this. We will go next, and here you have to select the LXQT desktop. So this will select all the dependencies for LXQT. We will go ahead. You might want to check any other desktop also. Maybe let us check out the Mate. Okay, Mate will use the GNOME ones, so let us not use the Mate right now. LXD is available. Check out if LXD is there. Should be there. It is not available, I think. Yes, LXD is not there. Otherwise you could have gone with the LXD also. Okay, let us keep it to LXQT this time. Go ahead. In the meta packages, ArcoLinux meta packages, use the meta utilities. That is good enough. Use the Arch Linux tweak tool we will require, because if you want to check out some other desktops, we will require this to install. Then here let us go with ArcoLinux Candy Beauty. SGDM wallpapers we will not select. We can go with the ArcoLinux wallpapers. Since we have used the Candy Beauty, let us go with the Candy GIT, Candy wallpapers. Let us go ahead. In communication, let us go with the, let us this time go with, why don't we go with Google Chat and check out if the Google Chat works. Let us do that. At least we will check out how the Google Chat is there. And then in the connectivity, remote connectivity, let us use Remima. We have done Real VNC, KR. Okay. Let us check out the Tiger VNC. But anyway, I don't have any registration done for the VNC, nor I use any Tiger VNC anytime. So let us do Let us keep it only to TeamViewer. Okay. Now let us go ahead. Development, I will not select anything. Yes. Now this time let us go with the Calligra Office suite. So we have earlier used the LibreOffice, OnlyOffice, OpenOffice, and I think once we have done the MS Office Online also, I think. So let us go with the Calligra this time. Then for the fonts, let us check out the what fonts. Let us try out this node fonts. We are done. Let us do this TTF Linux Libertine. Okay, now in the software, let us do the Lollipop audio player. And for the video software, we have done Kodi, Kodi X11, Caden Live. Let us do, yes, let us go with the Hypnotics Music Maya. Yes, this is, I think, from Linux Mint. So let us try this out. Okay. Hypnotics, and maybe we go with VLC. Hypnotics. Okay, let us stick to Hypnotics only. In browsers, we have done Vivaldi. Let us go with the Tor browser this time. And downloaders, let us try the Deluge one. Cloud software, of course, we have done everything. Let us install the Nextcloud this time. And email clients, let us use Mailspring. Done. There is something. Oh, okay. In themes, let us do the let us go with the Sweet theme and go with the Orchis theme. And icons, let us use Zafiro icons. And where is Mocha? Mocha is also good. Mocha icon theme. Let us go with two icon themes. Cursors, let us go with the simple and soft and the arch cursor complete. X cursor, arch cursor complete. These two themes are okay. Let us go with the new mix and Sardi or Colora variations. And this I will not use because that it will pull the KD desktop itself. Okay. In the graphics department, we will go with the dark table this time. Games, I will keep it blank. I will not select anyone. And in the terminals, let us go with the Vim terminal this time. And also select the Vim runtime. Okay. File managers, this is a LXQT. Let us go with PCman FM, or we can go with Thunar also. Thunar will also work. Let us go with the PCman FM and then Thunar with the Thunar archive plugin and the Thunar volume manager. This is good. Now we will go ahead. This utilities, let us use HR, Brasero, we all XFburn also we know. Let us keep with Ventoy, HPLib. Okay, let us go with HPLib and onboard, of course. Now we will go with the Grub ButterFS, ButterFS Assistant, Grub ButterFS, Snapper, Snapper Support, Snapper Tools, and rest the below I will keep it blank. Accessories, let us use the Nitrogen. Nitrogen is a wallpaper manager. So, or we can go with variety. Let us go with Nitrogen this time. And in Conky, let us select the Conky collection GIT. Okay. Password manager, privacy browser, Tor we already selected. So anyway, it will pull the Tor dependencies also. And rest others, Like the virtual box, I will not select. VMware also not select. ZSH also will not do it this time. Maybe next time. So no developer packages for us. So we are now reached the local selection. It has been automatically selected. Now go for the keyboard model. Select India. English India with rupee. Go ahead. We will erase the disk. We will change over to ButterFS. And here let us do swap to file. And bootloader location will be MBR of the virtual HDD. Select next. Now the username selection, username configuration, then you have to use the same password for the administrator account. Go ahead. Check whether the summary is okay, installer summary. If it is okay, you have to click on the next button. The installation is started. Now you have to wait for the installation to complete. Okay, so the installation is complete. We will meet in the next video and do the detailed review of the LXQT desktop that we have installed using the ArcoLinuxD ISO. Thank you very much for being with us during the course of this video. Do like, comment and share our videos. Do not forget to press the bell button, otherwise you will miss the new videos that are uploaded every day. We upload around 1 to 2 videos every day. So bye bye, see you in the next video.